Tonight's programming on PBS 39 is made possible through the financial support of viewers like you and by
Lifetime Sports Program Incorporated and the Journal-Gazette Foundation, who help support Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation with its free Lifetime Sports Academy. They extend their thanks to Tom and Mark Yale, Paul Clark Foundation, Matt Anthony's, English Bonter Mitchell, Fort Wayne Community Foundation, Bowix Golf Incorporated, the Fort Wayne Parks Board, Mayor's Office, City Council and Sports Corporation, and the many other concerned citizens in the community for their generosity to the Lifetime Sports Academy. Glenbrook Dodge congratulating the Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation Department for teaching kids golf, tennis, and swimming at McMillan Park in June and July. More information about the Lifetime Sports Academy is available from Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation at 427-6000.
Sport embraces discipline, determination, confidence, essential life skills for success. The pathway to success or failure begins in our early years. For our youth, sport is a positive first step. Through sport, kids can learn to relate to each other, experience the joy of winning, the lessons of losing, and the rewards of effort. Recognizing the importance of this philosophy, several community leaders and philanthropic individuals formed a partnership committed to creating a free summer youth program in Fort Wayne, Indiana. A program so profound, it has affected kids, parents, the entire community, and potentially the nation. The Lifetime Sports Academy, where everybody wins. The idea for this academy began in the mind of a well-known Fort Wayne businessman and sports enthusiast, Tom Yale. With Tom's experience in high school sports, he understood that for most people, team sports like football, basketball, and baseball are usually abandoned when school is over, leaving an active lifestyle and its long-term benefits behind. With this notion in mind, Yale wanted to find a way to get all kids interested in sports that could be enjoyed for an entire lifetime, like golf, tennis, and swimming. In order to reach all interested youth, this model had to provide all lessons and equipment free of charge. He gathered a group of like-minded friends and presented his idea to the Fort Wayne Sports Corporation, a nonprofit organization supporting community development through sports, and the Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation Department. From that moment on, the foundation for the Lifetime Sports Academy began to take shape.
I think right away, it was just amazing. You could feel the energy that was generated at this board meeting of about 25 to 30 sports corp board members, thinking, yeah, this is an idea that we certainly felt would sell in Fort Wayne and be a good thing to do for the youth.
Tom had in his vision some very basic parameters that he wanted to see happen. That was, number one, that it be free, entirely free, that everything be provided. The kids could come whenever they wanted to come and as often as they wanted to come. In other words, make it totally flexible.
As it developed, we realized that we wanted to focus this on kids who might normally never be able to get lessons of this sort. I mean, that was important. It was also important that we be able to figure out a way that it could be a long-lasting and not just go for a year or two. I mean, it's one thing to get a foundation grant that's going to sustain you for a year or two. It's another thing to have something that's going to be long-lasting and go on year after year and just really become a permanent fixture.
A committee for the Lifetime Sports Academy was developed in 1997. And for 1 year, the program schedule was finessed, fundraising efforts began, and the staff was carefully selected.
I talked to Rick Hemseth, who's our golf pro out at McMillan Park, and he's the golf pro for the city, and he runs the golf program. And I mentioned to him, hey, volunteers wouldn't be a bad idea. We might get some pros from the other clubs and so forth. Some of them can come on Monday, another one can come on Tuesday. He said, stop right there.
Volunteers are great, and we encourage volunteers to come out, but we have paid, trained staff. And I believe, and we believe as a group, that by having these people come and be paid and it's their job, they're going to give us more than a volunteer would. They're going to invest in the kids more than a volunteer would. They're going to invest in learning what they have to pass along to kids, the skills that we want them to teach.
And so the Lifetime Sports Academy Committee agreed that a paid staff would ensure participants the best quality experience. The next challenge for Academy creators was to find a location that would meet their needs. McMillan Park was found to be most accommodating because of its size and existing facilities. At the time, this park was in need of repair and consequently was not well utilized by the community.
We decided to fundraise some dollars to improve the park. That way, in the event that the Academy didn't last for a long number of years, that we had improved a park that the community could benefit from. And that was one of our main thrusts when we went and talked to potential contributors, is that we were improving a park.
Throughout the first year, enough funds were raised to support the staff as they planned and prepared for the first season. In order to maintain the idea of a flexible schedule for the kids, it was decided that there would be no pre-registration. The result? The Academy had no way of predicting how many kids would show up on this opening day in June 1998.
We were there 7:30, 8 o'clock, and nobody was on the park, and 8:30, and nobody was coming. So we thought, well, hey, we just planned a complete disaster. Nothing is going to happen today on this park.
At 9 o'clock, there was a parade of cars come in, and before the day was over, 500 people had signed up for the Academy, and off we went.
We were overwhelmed. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And throughout that whole first season even, I mean, every day new kids would show up that we hadn't seen before.
At that point, we knew we had a winner on our hands.
The Lifetime Sports Academy had an attendance of 1,000 kids for that first season in 1998. Since then, the season attendance has grown to 12,000, with an average of 400 kids per day. Clearly, the anticipation, hard work, and fundraising efforts to fill a need in the Fort Wayne community has had tremendous results. Results that continue to attract more businesses and foundations who are making a commitment to sustain this program in their community for future generations. Along with this community support, many families recognize the impact this program has on their kids and are also making a commitment to support the Lifetime Sports Academy. Single-parent Deb Coleman is so committed to the Lifetime Sports Academy that she looked for a job that would accommodate the Academy schedule. She and her 3 kids have been taking advantage of the Lifetime Sports Academy for 6 years now. Jacob, now 14, has been working in the junior lifeguard program.
It would be very difficult for me to give them this kind of training, this high level of training, and be able to afford it. Because my kids are in tennis and golf and swimming all at one time. And I could never afford that, ever. I really had to pull a little bit for Jacob to come and be committed to the lifeguard training. But after the second class, he thanked me. He said, "I'm glad you made me come, Mom." Now he's went through an entire training program, and he is taking the same CPR training that they require the medical profession to take, and that's valuable.
That's the first thing we do here. 2 whistle blasts, 911 is being called. Because we want the EMS, who has more equipment, has more training than we do, to get out here as fast as possible.
The swimming program provides certified Red Cross instructors to work with beginning, intermediate, and advanced swimmers. Once the kids advance through all 3 levels, they're eligible for the competitive swim training program, and they can potentially earn a certificate for additional swimming lessons. Junior lifeguard training is for kids 11 through 17, where they learn first aid, CPR, and water rescue techniques. The kids who work hard and graduate from the Junior Lifeguard Training Program may be eligible for employment with the Parks Department in the future.
My role as an instructor and a lifeguard is to teach the kids safety, to teach them something that they thought they never could do, but also understand the responsibility behind it, that it's not an easy task, that you might, knock on wood, you might have to do something you never wanted to do in your life at a young age, and take that responsibility wholeheartedly and know what to do. That's my biggest enjoyment.
At the end of the summer, we have a city swim meet in town, and they all participate in the city swim meet. And they might not make it to finals, but if they win in their heat or they can go on the next day, it's so exciting for them.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick.
The Boyer family is experiencing the excitement of this academy for the first time. Bill and Karen have been involved in sports most of their lives, and they want their kids to be involved in sports too. After hearing about the academy through co-workers and friends, the Boyers took full advantage.
I believe that the name of the program says a lot. The Lifetime Academy of Sports, and where else can you go and learn these types of skills? Be outside, and the skills you've developed for a lifetime. I mean, they're not going to go away.
So far, we have 2 children that are involved. Rachel is 10, and she is primarily doing the swimming and the tennis. And Michael, who is just now 8 this year, so finally is old enough to do it. Last year he wanted to do it, but he wasn't old enough, so he's taking advantage of everything because he's my little go-getter.
PGA Class A professionals, group lessons, and practice opportunities are available every day at the Lifetime Sports Academy. Equipment is provided for the lessons, and as the golfers advance through various levels and pass the golf tests, they'll earn their very own set of clubs, along with a bag, shoes, and balls, at no cost to them.
LSA is in my blood. I think, I've been a professional golfer for a long time, 23 years now. I've played golf. I played the PGA Tour at one time. I've done just about everything there is to do. And the Lifetime Sports Academy is the coolest thing I've ever done. I just love being here because I can interact with kids, different groups of kids.
Alex and Andrew Harris know that in order to excel in tennis, they must work hard. Although very shy, these identical twins do not blend into the background. They are unstoppable on the tennis court.
They've been here since the beginning of the academy, and they, along with a lot of the other kids, get here about 7 in the morning. And they work out until we get here at 9, then they work out all day. So if you do that, you're going to get good, bottom line.
They are very strong right now, but the maturity physically and the psychological aspect of it, when they get more mature, they are going to be very, very, very good at the high school level.
The kids don't mind hard work when they have such great role models to guide them on the court. Coach Barnes and Coach Williams, USPTA professionals, provide high-caliber tennis instruction. Rackets and balls are provided for the beginning, intermediate, and advanced tennis lessons, and kids can earn free rackets when they pass the tennis skills and rules tests.
So everyone earned a tennis racket today.
Yeah. Yes.
What are you going to do with the tennis racket?
Play.
You going to do what? What's your name?
Play with it.
You going to play with it? What are you going to do with your tennis racket?
Play with it.
How often are you going to play with it?
All the time.
A lot? How many of you are ready
Ready?
Ready!
Ready for what?
To get a tennis racket.
Let's go see if we can get a tennis racket.
Leanne White's family lives in an inner-city neighborhood in Fort Wayne where families work together to find healthy activities for their kids. She believes the Lifetime Sports Academy is a blessing to this neighborhood because it provides them even more options. Leanne does her part to make sure the kids have a way to get there.
One day our neighbor, who has 5 children, came over and asked if he could bring my children down to the Lifetime Sports Academy, and I had no idea what it was. And the thing that attracted me was this permission form. And I thought, well, there might be some type of organization. So he brought the children down for the first 2 weeks, and then one day, because of his business, he couldn't. And so he asked if I would bring him, and I was overwhelmed with the professional quality that Coach Barnes and Coach Williams was giving to the kids. And I saw how the kids just loved the instructors, and I did too. I didn't want to miss a lesson, even though I was sitting on the sideline.
If you look like a tennis player,
You look like a tennis player.
Carol and Vic Fox homeschool some of their kids. And now, because of the Academy program, their kids have an environment where they can have fun learning and playing sports and make new friends. Katie, their oldest daughter, has taken up the game of golf and hopes to play on her high school team.
We have 6 children, but our youngest will start participating next year, so we have 5 children right now in the academy. Being able to participate in the academy has been wonderful because it lets the children have opportunity for sports they may have not been able to with just homeschooling. I mean, they can go and play basketball and things like that, but as far as earning their clubs and participating in a sport such as golf or tennis, it really gives them a better opportunity, and they can be with other children too, whereas homeschooling, sometimes they're working just one-on-one with their parents or with the other siblings. So it gives them an opportunity to socialize and to have fun and to strengthen their bodies, you know, and to work as a team with other children. So it's been very beneficial.
I love Sports Academy. It's so much fun because I can meet new friends, and the instructors go pick out the things that you're not good at and the things that you are good at, so you can progress and get everything perfect.
She's a Lifetime Sports Academy graduate. She's a leader in training. She's a junior leader this year. She's not real sure she's going to do very good, but we know she is. Because she knows what the program's all about, because she was in it and now she's one teaching.
Persia Ford is a fine example of what a Lifetime Sports Academy kid can accomplish. With a lot of encouragement from her parents, she started to play a little golf and found that she really enjoyed it. In fact, she enjoyed it so much that she made her high school varsity golf team as a freshman.
She would come on, Mom, you won't believe what I did, or Mom, guess what, I got a trophy. And you could just see, you know, the excitement in her eye, because she was just, you know, she was awestruck. And then him being so young, well, when he got able to understand, it's like, you could tell he was like, I'm going to do this too, you know.
The academy helped me because I'm like the type of person that doesn't really like to practice a lot. But coming over here in the academy, it's fun because you get to talk to kids while you're in line, and you're actually working and practicing and getting better.
This year has been a year of growth for Persia. You know, her job here at the academy, man, has been, you know, she's grown up.
Believing that I was actually good enough to give kids advice. And when I first came over, I was really nervous because I didn't want to like give a kid a wrong tip and like mess their whole swing up. That was probably like my biggest challenge, just like getting in there and believing that what I could tell them would actually help them in the long run.
When they can see her get up on the tee or whatever and show them how to hit a correct shot, they like, oh, wow. That makes her feel really good. And to know that she learned it from over there, she's saying, now you guys can do this too.
Marty Grotrian, retired and a proud grandmother, plays on a golf league at McMillan Park. While playing there one day, she saw a sign for free golf, tennis, and swimming lessons for kids. Marty had been trying to get her grandson Derek to play golf with her since he was a toddler, without much success. When she recently told Derek about the Lifetime Sports Academy, where he could possibly earn a set of free golf clubs, she finally got his attention. Now, the entire family can enjoy playing golf together.
When we got through the first time, I was in awe of how he could play, the last day of the academy, they call it a fun day, and Derek was in an age group from 8 to 10, and they had like a longest drive, they had a putting contest, and Derek won both of those. He drove that ball 154 yards. I mean, it was awesome. And so that was more than I ever expected, and I think he expected less too. What the Academy has done for me is make me feel so proud of what Derek has learned and what he has accomplished there. In fact, through the winter, he said to me, "You know, Grandma, I can't wait to start playing golf at the Academy again." And that, to me, is worth the world.
The Gallmeyer family is proud of what the Academy has done for their son, Robert. He's been attending the Lifetime Sports Academy since 5th grade. Now he hopes to play on the high school golf team. Teresa, self-proclaimed cheerleader and devoted mother, has been attending the Academy alongside her son since the beginning.
It makes me feel proud to be a part of it, to be one of those parents out there and to participate in whatever way I can to help them, and that I feel like a #1 cheerleader for the LSA, and that I beam when I talk about it.
And I don't think we have a boy in the program who's worked harder than Robert has to achieve what he's had. He's playing the junior tour, he's going to try out for his high school team. He's really come a long way, and just because he wanted
Such a little guy.
And he drug Mom with him, and Mom's here every day too.
I just saw that there was just like a spark that was lit in him, and I think that had a lot to do with the program and obviously him liking that sport, but it just seemed like each summer it just grew and grew, and then in the last couple of years there was like an explosion. He just, the competitiveness started to come in. Of course, he's matured some from 10 to almost 15, and he's just in it, and he's just ran with it. All he can talk about is making the high school golf team. The next step this summer, he wants to try to qualify for the men's city tournament just to play in it. And he also talks about wanting to give back to the Academy, because I am surprised how kids, even at a young age, they realize what opportunities have been given to them, and he wants in every possible way to give back, and he would like to come back and be an instructor someday too, to give back to the young kids that are starting out where he did 5 years ago, and show them what can happen. You never know, one visit out there can change your life.
Check for a pulse to the person on your left. You're gonna put your hands right here and check for a pulse. Use your other hand. This hand, right hand should come over that side.
Mickey is not unlike most teenagers. She's 18, anticipating her high school graduation, and looking forward to college. What makes her story a little different is that she has the big responsibility of caring for her 2-month-old baby boy that she loves dearly. Mickey truly understands the mission of the Lifetime Sports Academy. She's been involved in the junior lifeguard program not only because she likes to swim, but she knows that this training will potentially provide her and her son a source of income someday, training that she could never afford on her own. Mickey says she'll be old enough to be a lifeguard next year, which is why she's taking the junior lifeguard class with Joe Woodson. She appreciates how Joe takes his time to help everyone learn this skill, because she knows that public pools need lifeguards, and she could work at the McMillan Park pool when she's finished with his class. Mickey and everyone experiencing the Academy recognize not only the valuable physical and health benefits of sport, additionally, they're realizing the social and personal skill development that can go along with being involved with sports. skills they'll apply to every aspect of their lives.
Good shot.
She has become more outgoing, and that's good. She's a rather quiet girl, and I guess this is good for her because golf is a quiet sport. But she's getting to know a lot more people, and especially the instructors have been great.
Learning the rules in a good environment where they have coaches that really know what they're doing and really encourage the kids. I just can't say enough good things about the program.
I'm hoping that they'll use this later on in life. With it being lifetime sports, that's what it means, that when they get to be older, they can go out and golf still. They're not going to have to run bases and try and kick the ball. That they can maybe close a business deal out on the golf course or something. And tennis and swimming too, you use all your life.
There's obvious benefits from lifetime sports, health and fitness, obviously. I mean, you can stay fit and theoretically live longer by participation in sports. But there's many other benefits in addition to that, and that's kind of some of the things that we kind of wanted to focus on. And there's good social and psychological benefits from sports participation also.
When Mr. Yale talks about it being golf, tennis, and swimming, it's much more than that to me. It's a lifestyle, it's a change. He had me come up yesterday in front of the young people, and at the end I asked them a question. What would you be doing today if we did not have Lifetime Sports Academy? And they said, watching television. I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be bored. These are things that came out of their mouths. So to me, we have struck a chord in the community, and these kids are doing things, even if they are not participating in the golf, swimming, and tennis, they're learning some very, very positive behaviors. And so you can't put a price on that, because these are kids that are not in the court system, they're not in trouble, they're not misbehaving, they are good young people that see other people caring for them, and that's what I get out of it. So I really think that's my story, and that's what I'd like to share about it in terms of Lifetime Sports Academy. So.
According to the National Park Service, it costs more to incarcerate a child than it does to provide recreation programs. The Lifetime Sports Academy annually invests on average $100 per child, providing a wholesome alternative to drugs, gangs, and other negative behaviors.
Each community is a little different, but the national average to incarcerate a child is about $32,000 a year. If you can put just a tiny bit of that $32,000 into something positive like the Lifetime Sports Academy, you have saved millions.
Being where we are, we're in the center part of Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the inner city. There is and was some gang activity, and some really neat kids have developed out of that. Some of the kids that the first year were really a lot of trouble have become kids that are really, really strong supporters of the program. So those activities, that we've developed have made a major impact on this neighborhood.
It keeps me out of trouble. And I used to stay in a lot of trouble. And it helps me think about other things besides trouble. That's why I try to stay in as long as I can. I try hard to do everything just right, at least try to do it right. I don't ever give up. Give up is not an option for me.
Fort Wayne Police Detective Wayne Kelly not only patrols the McMillan Park area, while off duty, he picks his son up from the academy and enjoys spending a little time on the driving range.
I've been on the police department going on my 19th year. Ever since the conception of the academy, I've tried to come over to the academy to be visible, to let people in the area know and to feel safe when they are out here, whether we were here or any other place. I just want them to know that the police presence is very well known and that we care about them too. I try to promote the program, and I always challenge parents, and I always tell them if they have a troubled child, or if they have a child that wants to be involved in something, I strongly suggest that they come over here and enjoy the academy. If they have to spend gas money to come over here, if they have to spend money extra to do something as it relates to the academy, I always tell them that it's cheaper than bail money.
Since the Lifetime Sports Academy, they've just had wonderful programs going out there, and the McMillan Park Association thinks it's wonderful. So that's something when the neighborhood says this is a very positive program.
Another positive aspect of this program resides in the pavilion on the park grounds. It serves as the perfect facility to provide free lunch through the National Free Lunch Program facilitated by Fort Wayne Community Schools. Before or after lunch, the kids who are too young or not interested in sports can take part in special programs or arts and crafts activities and all sorts of games.
What's important to me is that they get good understanding of socializing with one another and understand that there are rules and regulations throughout life, and it's no different here, but except they're in a park environment where you're going to have some fun. Something's wrong if they're not having fun. So we encourage them to have fun, but show respect for one another in the process.
Another neat aspect about the program is that we get this great social interaction between low-income kids and high-income kids and kids from different ethnic backgrounds, and they're all out there for the same reason, and they have fun and they learn together.
You know, you get comments from parents that if it wasn't for this program, their children would not be exposed to the different socioeconomic, the different ethnic backgrounds that they are, because you know, the schools they go to, or you know, just their different settings.
They come out of here on a level playing field, and the philosophy is, hey, we're as good as anybody. Let's learn all we can, and let's go on out there and take our spot in the world.
Several kids have been consistently attending the Academy since it began back in 1998. Now, those kids are reaching high school age, which means they're hoping to take a spot on their high school sports teams. With the free professional instruction at the Lifetime Sports Academy, these kids now have the self-confidence and skills to compete with any and all high school athletes.
In order to develop high school athletes, you have to have programs that encourage kids to come back summer after summer and get better, not just learn the basics, get better, improve, and compete. So yes, you know, part of us is about preparing kids for competition.
Andrew and Alex, one thing that's very exciting pertaining to them, last year they played in their first USTA tournament. And I told them that, you know, they probably would not win it, you know, because generally, you know, those individuals have been playing years, etc. Hey, don't you remember the first USTA tournament you played in? Yeah. And we talked about it, and I told you that, you know, with the first tournament, that you probably would not win it. And let's see, who won it? Alex.
He won the first tournament he played in.
First USTA tournament.
I was extremely myself proud of them, how well they did against, you know, such a high level of competition, and up until last summer had never even played in a tennis tournament.
We're real happy, proud of them.
Yep, lots of pride.
On most days, you'll find as many parents as kids on the park grounds. Some just enjoy the relaxation, but others, well, they get actively involved in the lessons too.
It is amazing when you go out there during the day to watch the parents that are watching their kids and getting involved.
It's pretty fun. Yeah. I can't believe it's free. I want to get my club so I can go out golfing with my dad. We really enjoy golfing together.
I'm glad he did it and stuff, because now he can come out with me in golf, because I've been trying to get him. He was my firstborn. It's like I'm trying to get him out there to play with me.
This is a way for parents, aunts, uncles to be able to interact. We've got people playing golf who are 80 years old, and a grandfather can play with a grandchild. You can take your kids and all go swimming. These lifetime sports like tennis carry over between generations, and they help build that sense of family that sometimes in our busy lives gets lost.
Biggest help was my dad kept encouraging me to come over here every day. And if it wasn't like my uncle, he taught him how to play, and then when I came over here, my dad taught me how to play, and then Lifetime Sports Academy helped me out a whole bunch.
One thing we were able to start last year was a learning academy for the parents, especially in a skill that they might not know, like golf. Some of the mothers aren't really in tune to what golf is all about. So by teaching the parents, then the parents can work with the kids and say, well, you need to build on this skill or that skill. And that's a great opportunity too.
I'm going to teach you how to hold it, how to stand, and how to hit it. And then we're going to go through that process. We're going to hit some balls. And then at the end of this, at the second half of this lesson, we're going to go through the pitching lesson. Now, the reason we do that in the second lesson is because that is the most difficult test that your children will have to pass to get their golf clubs and earn their pass to the Mad Athletes 3. So when you say that sounds like an easy thing, to just hit that ball a little ways into the air, we're going to show you that it's not.
It can't hurt, right? Oh, I missed.
For those of you who are having trouble doing that, that is once again a kick out for your children. We will not pass a child that doesn't finish completely on their left foot with their right toe up, right toe touching, and their club up above them. If they finish like this, we're not going to pass them. They've got to swing through the ball. Beautiful.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
nice.
I took the adult class so that we could kind of help our kids with a swing. It was fun to try and to learn, you know, so now I can look at my kids' swing and say, no, you need to get your elbow up more and stuff. So they gave us the skills, actually, so that I can correct my kids.
They seem to really see what their children are going through, which is really cool. And then they learn about golf, and my goal is, of course, to hook them on golf, because if I hook the adults, then they want to bring the kids.
That's it. Moving those feet, wonderful feet. They look like bunny rabbits. I don't know how serious your child wants to play tennis, but if they want to play serious tennis, they need to get in shape. They need to get in shape, because if you're out there moving your feet all the time, you're going to be in shape. Okay. I want you to pose after you stroke the ball. Pose. I'm not exaggerating. That's it. Okay, hit.
Nice, Aaron.
Golf, tennis, all those individual sports, because I know you will support your kid. And if they have some talent, you know, support them, they can easily get a scholarship. But to get a scholarship in tennis, though, you have to be good. I mean, you have to be good.
Those attending the Lifetime Sports Academy recognize one of its greatest benefits: more family time. The kids may play these Lifetime sports better than mom and dad now, but the whole family has a great time.
I think it's a good way to get the families together, because the parents, they can go out like on the golf course and help their kids out and like help them with their chipping or putting and stuff. It's just a good way to bring them together and have fun.
To go out there, if they're going to go to the range and hit balls, or if they're going to come over here to hit balls, it's fun. And even if I can't hit the ball, just to be out there and doing it. We're all together. They laugh. We have so much fun because they, Mom, that's not the way to do it.
Why won't he play? But he doesn't really like to play anymore because Persia and me, we always beat him, so he decides not to play anymore.
It's easy quitting when your kids start beating you, I tell you.
But that's what you play with Robert and
that's what we
and
want. That's what we want. You know, we start them out young so they can learn how to play the game, and we hope that they get better than we are. And
I always say I am the world's worst golfer, but I enjoy being on a golf course and I enjoy playing. And I decided that if Derek learned to play golf, he and I could go and play golf, since I have retired and now that gives me more time to play.
She had always wanted to get Derek, her grandson, to play golf. He became just someone who absolutely loved the game of golf. Grandma is thrilled because now she can play with the boy, with Derek.
He has taught me a lot. I can tell you that he and I went one time, and as I'm hitting the ball, he's just shaking his head. We got back to the car and Derek says to me, "Grandma, I would like for you to listen to me." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Let me tell you, every time you go to hit that ball, about the time you get this far from it, you raise your head. It's no wonder that ball doesn't go very far." So the next time I played league play, I remembered this, and it was just incredible what more length or distance I could get from just him telling me. I mean, those 7 weeks are our weeks. I'm a very lucky grandma to have a grandson like him. He's the only grandchild I have. I just think that every child should be entitled to go. I just said if I had a bus, I'd take a bus load.
By the time the 6 Fox kids get together with their cousins at the academy, a bus wouldn't be out of the question.
Practically when we go home, we always get our golf clothes from the back of the van and we go on the front lawn. We go and hit balls until we're blue in the face, and Mom's like, it's dark outside, you can't see anymore, so we'll have to come in. But the next morning we're right out there, and you know, some of the golf instructors will come by and wave at us, and we'll wave back at them. So you know, it's so much fun because we can play all until winter.
This year, a lot of their cousins participated with them. And so it was a great opportunity because we would get together, I would get together with my sisters and talk.
Annette. Kelly. Cindy. Carol. Kathleen.
Gosh.
My name is Phyllis, and I'm their mother.
And who's this guy?
I'm John. I'm the father of the whole pack.
We have 11 that are golfing and tennis.
11 out of our family are participating.
It's a good program because we probably wouldn't be able to afford giving the kids all these lessons. And here they're learning something they can use all their life.
I've been singing all my life. Do you think I can sing well? Do you know how to sing?
I hate singing.
You hate singing? What do you like doing well?
Golf.
Golf? What about tennis?
And tennis.
And tennis?
I like coaching.
Okay, but you don't like to sing?
No, I hate singing.
You hate singing, but do
Yeah, but I like yours.
You like... Thank you. Okay. It's just too much.
Many staff members have been loyal to the academy since the very beginning. And when you ask them why they stay, the unanimous response is, it's because of the kids. The sense of pride each staff member embraces while watching a child grow stronger each day is proof that the Lifetime Sports Academy is a powerful resource in the community.
Mr. Barnes and coaching staff, thank you for being patient enough to teach me tennis. Tennis lessons were a lot of fun. Before this, my dad tried to take us to the tennis courts, but not often because we couldn't hit back. Last week, we went 4 nights in a row, and now with new rackets, we will even go more. The truth.
For me, it's coming back and seeing the kids. You may not remember everyone's name, but they remember you. And I always love the look on parents' face when this little kid comes running up to me at the mall and hugs me. His parents are just staring at me. You know, and it's me, it's okay, you know.
This individual I've taken home, I've picked up, walking down the street, coming to the Lifetime Academy. And he was so worried about getting his clubs. He had flunked test after test after test. I said, okay, you're gonna get them, keep trying. So one day, I thought he achieved it. I don't know which golf staff it was. Marcus has just passed, he's got his clubs. So, nosy as I am, I jumped back on the walkie-talkie and said, tell him I said, okay, good job, you know, the whole 9 yards. So there was this sad voice come back on and say, that wasn't Marcus Bullock. That was the other Marcus. I said, oh man, so my heart dropped. The next thing I know, Marcus walking up to me. And he's looking down and everything, and I said, oh, I don't know what to say to him. So he brought it up. I flunked again. I said, that's all right, you know. Oh, I know I'll get him, And to make a long story short, he got him the other day.
It's something to do for everybody.
Yeah.
You can color, you can draw, you can just chat with your friends, you can play games, you can go outside and play games, you can go to lessons and earn brand new spanking clubs. Look at that. And look at this. This bag is so cool. got all these pouches and pockets.
Yeah, and you got shoes in one of the pockets.
Oh yeah. Did I show you my shoes?
Yes, you showed him your shoes.
Oh.
It's fun. Hard, but fun.
How many blades of grass are on a green?
All of them.
I'm sorry.
When Kevin started his second year, I was sitting there watching, and when he first time on the course, he went and he got a bogey on the first hole, and the coach just went crazy. And I thought, you know what, it was so special. You know, I will never forget that. The coach just screamed, he got a bogey, you know, and it was such a neat thing. I'll never forget that. They're so close to the kids. I mean, you know, they're more than a coach, they become a friend. It's really a neat thing.
When I was earning my clubs, I was really bad at pitching and I couldn't pass the test. So the teachers, the instructors with you alone and just practice and practice and practice, and they would get so excited when you were able to pass. They were just overjoyed. It was such a big accomplishment for me. I was really excited.
All that hard work paid off, didn't it? Good job.
You better go tell Lindsay. She's right there.
Look at that smile. What do you get? Congratulations. That's a wonderful smile. But that smile is more wonderful than my smile. Congratulations.
Good work. What are you gonna be when you grow up? Say it again.
A lifeguard. Me too, me too, me too, me too. Me too, my team, me too. All right.
We get a lot of kids who come back year after year, and as they come back, they're like, "Oh, we want this instructor because we had her last year. Can we have this instructor this year?" And
I'm here for the kids to let them know you can do it. They can do it. They can make it if they want to.
I found out that young people are is a part of my calling, and I'm real passionate about working with them.
See that? Don't you feel better having a shot like that? Good job.
Bryce, let us go.
Okay, Bryce just passed. Good job, Bryce.
That's another set of clubs.
When the program began back in 1998, the Fort Wayne Sports Corporation, a nonprofit organization supporting community development through sports, raised nearly $200,000 through private donors and foundation grants. This money was divided between new tennis courts and a driving range, as well as salaries and equipment. As the number of kids increased each year, however, it wasn't very long before the Lifetime Sports Academy Committee realized that the kids in the golf program were beginning to run out of room.
We were getting a little crowded out there. We were getting so many kids at different times of the day, and we really needed to spread out more. And so we had determined that we need to have our own golf course out there, a 9-hole golf course. And the question was, when are we going to have the money? It was maybe programmed for year 7 or 8 or 9.
One of our long-term goals was to create build a learning center for the young people that also added to the opportunity for the Parks Department to generate revenue when the Lifetime Sports Academy wasn't using it. And a lot of people told us that, well, maybe you should start with 3 holes, and if that works, then build another 3 and another 3. And it's never been in my nature to think small. And so I said, well, let's start with 9 and go out and find the support for it.
For over 46 years, Fort Wayne, Indiana has had the privilege of hosting the Mad Anthony's Charity Classic for children. This nationally known fundraising event attracts several well-known celebrities from across the country, many who have deep roots in Indiana. Each year, the funds raised in this celebrity tournament are donated to a principal charity based on the criteria of the Mad Anthony's charitable mission. which is dedication to enriching the lives of young people in the Fort Wayne community. Recently, the Lifetime Sports Academy benefited as the principal charity, making it possible for them to build their 9-hole golf course, the Mad Anthony Threes. Purdue basketball coach Gene Cady has participated in this charity event for over 20 years and has been a supporter of the Lifetime Sports Academy since its conception.
I think this is a great, great cause, and I think every community should have it. So hopefully this kind of spread and help people understand how important it is to have some kind of hobby that you can use besides just team sports as you get older.
If you look at the membership of the Mad Anthonys and what they do and where they've donated their money in the past, it's principally been to children's activities, very interested in children's athletic progress and athletic activities. So the Lifetime Sports Academy, just by its very purpose, is very much in line with the Mad Anthony's charitable mission.
We are able now to get kids on a golf course more often with a better quality experience. Earlier in their learning process, we can get them on the golf course, and it's just added a new dimension to the intermediate and advanced opportunities for kids to learn competitive golf.
Throughout the years, over $1 million has been raised through the generous support of private donors, foundations, and city government on behalf of the Fort Wayne Parks Department to run the Lifetime Sports Academy. With this support, they're able to add more activities to the schedule and maintain the park facilities, as well as acquire more equipment and staff.
I think that the key things that keep it going is that we offer the professional instruction and we offer access to facilities, and we keep it free. Now that all takes money, and so when we go back and talk to foundations and companies that have supported our program, they're just very pleased when we're showing that we're getting interested young people from all parts of Fort Wayne, and they seem to be enjoying themselves and learning at the same time.
It's been truly a public-private partnership between the public sector and the private sector and the Fort Wayne Sports Corporation. It's taken all of these players to make this program a success. And I think it's a testament to the program that all these players are still involved.
All of this takes place in a positive atmosphere of community support. People in Fort Wayne know what they have in this program. And that also, I think, makes it unique.
It's great to go to a mayor's conference around the country and have people say, hey, tell me about this Lifetime Sports Academy. Mayor, how did you do that in your city? I say it's because of the generosity of the parents, the foundations, and some critical leaders. We had spark plug leaders. So it's that partnership of those who care a lot about our community, they care about kids, they care about sports, and that partnership is what you need to build. Any city that wants to can do it. We'd be happy to share with them our success and how this can help build not only great character with kids, but also help build an awareness in the community of the importance of lifetime sports and wellness and fitness at a young age for our young people.
Tom Yale and everyone involved in the partnership between Academy supporters and staff are so proud of the success of this Academy, they feel confident that the model they've developed in Fort Wayne would work in any community. What they've discovered overall is that no matter the size of the budget or how many sports are included, if the initial commitment is made to start a sport program that will have a positive impact on the lives of children, that commitment will take root and grow strong in the community.
I think the future is out there right now. I think it's in those kids that are learning and that are coming of age, and I think they'll be back and they will be the future of LSA. And what they're getting now, they're never going to forget, and they're going to someday come back and give as much and hopefully more back to it.
The words of tennis great Arthur Ashe, as he wrote to his daughter before he died, best describes the essence of the Lifetime Sports Academy's vocation. Whatever else you learn in school, I would like you to master at least 2 life sports, those you can play long after you're out of school. They can bring you comfort and pleasure for the rest of your life. Sports can teach you so much about yourself, your emotions, your character. how to be resolute in moments of crisis, and how to fight back on the brink of defeat. In this respect, the lessons of sports cannot be duplicated easily. You quickly discover your limits, but you can also build self-confidence and a positive sense of yourself.
Tonight's programming on PBS 39 is made possible through the financial support of viewers like you and by
Lifetime Sports Program Incorporated and the Journal-Gazette Foundation, who help support Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation with its free Lifetime Sports Academy. They extend their thanks to Tom and Mark Yale, Paul Clark Foundation, Matt Anthony's, English Bonter Mitchell, Fort Wayne Community Foundation, Bowix Golf Incorporated, the Fort Wayne Parks Board, Mayor's Office, City Council and Sports Corporation, and the many other concerned citizens in the community for their generosity to the Lifetime Sports Academy. Glenbrook Dodge congratulating the Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation Department for teaching kids golf, tennis, and swimming at McMillan Park in June and July. More information about the Lifetime Sports Academy is available from Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation at 427-6000.